Welcome, guys, to My Love Island Season 7, Episode 13. Um, we are back to discuss this fallout from the recoupling of the Season 7 cast. And to
Woo!
be honest, um, it gave us what we thought it would give, but whoo, child, I don't know how we move on from here.
I
So,
know. Woo, yeah. The
um,
drama.
the drama. With me today to chat all the drama is Miss TJ. How are you doing, Miss TJ?
Hello. I'm good. I'm ready to talk about it, boo. I'm ready to talk.
Yeah, this is this was a wild episode.
Why?
It's like a lot of things I thought was gonna happen, and I'm just like, why did they happen so quickly?
I mean, the spiral was like, and the delusion as to why the vote went the way that it went. She takes no responsibility. Like,
None, none.
none.
It's exactly what we called it. We
None.
called it that she was going to blame him.
Yes.
And then we called it that he was going to start exiting stage left.
Yeah.
And also,
I have some mixed thoughts on him though.
yes, no, that's what I'm saying. I'm just shocked at how quickly the things that we called happened tonight. And so I'm just like, I don't know where we go from here because I'm frustrated with a lot here. Like, I agree with somebody on some parts, but I also agree with somebody on another part. But also, this is why you guys don't do this so quickly.
Exactly. Nick was trying to speak some sense into her, but he also was still intimidated, so he still handled her with kid gloves instead of really just ripping the band-aid off and being raw and real. Like somebody needed to be raw and real because the girls weren't doing it at all. If it wasn't for Ace and Nick, she wouldn't have gotten any truth. The girls were like,
see, Alandra, I feel like
I think they're saving you. Yeah.
No, that was just Sierra and Amaya, which is to be expected. I think Alandra and Iris were being the most real with her. She just didn't want to hear it because if not for Alandra, I don't think she would have talked to the boys. Alandra said, "Go talk to Ace. Go talk to Nick. They're saying this in front of you for a reason. No, they need to just stay the fuck out of it." Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, we're gonna get there. KB is here. KB, what a good show. I agree.
Yes.
I'm still on track to this is a good show. Boss Queen is here as well. KB says shoulda coulda houlda was on an epic level delusion, and she's just pulling so many people into it. Natalie says Huda is going to pop off on somebody. Seriously, I thought it was going to be poor Iris. Damn. Like,
yeah, she talked to her real aggressive, and she lucky. See, that's the thing. She's nobody's checking her. She needs to be checked because she really thinks she Billy Badass up in there, and nobody's checking her. Because I would have had to check her, like, homegirl, slow down your roll, slow it down real quick. And she lucky Iris don't want no smoke. Because I'd have been like, who you talking to? No, you can't pull me until you calm down, lower your tone, and remember who you talking to. You know what I mean?
Wild. It was just wild. Like, wild.
I mean, I agree that he should have done some things to comfort her, but the way she talked to him, the way she kept calling him out his name, she would never have done that to somebody like Ace.
No. But you see how Ace took the news, and I said Ace is the one person I feel like who would have been the most open and understanding to her position, and he was. But also, that's why he was saying what he's saying. That's why he's side-eyeing her, because it's like, I was raised by a single mother. You are a single mother. The fact that you are just coming and locking into somebody is ridiculous. You shouldn't do that.
She thought she was gonna get sympathy for him. He was like, and he kept on talking like that don't have nothing to do with the price of tea in China. Okay, I was raised by a single mama. You ain't telling me nothing new. I know plenty of people in the hood, my whole family, everywhere in life, who are single mothers and they keep it moving and they date and they live their lives and they keep it moving. Like, what does that have to do with how you moving? That don't have nothing to do. If anything, if you left your child, you should really take the opportunity, because most of the time when you're a single mom, you don't want to date a whole bunch of people because you don't want a whole bunch of people around your child or be mixing up or having a whole bunch of phone calls. You really should have taken this time to date 50 people, because you could do it in one environment and be fine, and then find the one you really like and lock in. Nope, no, you didn't have to move like that. You chose
Yeah.
to do that.
No. KB points out our little ace goblin and Nick stood on that square. And they did, like, seriously, that they did what needed to be done. And I feel like in the eyes of America, they spoke for us. They really
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
Boss Queen is here. Boss Queen says, Huda is great TV.
She is.
I agree. KB says it's very telling as the show progresses that the girls also switch from being mostly silent when she spiraled. Literally, the whole villa was thinking in unison. I mean, I think that they've come to the point where they just let Huda. Like, who was it? Oh God, was it Iris? Was like, oh, Hurricane Huda is probably gonna show up while we're gone. I think they all know who she is. And to
Yeah.
be honest, I think I mentioned it a few episodes ago, or what, it could have been last episode. If you notice, she's not real. She doesn't seem to be really close to Alandra anymore, and I do feel like it's because Alandra, after that whole thing where she like kind of attacked her, I think she's taking a step back. I think the girls realize who Huda is and just try to step away. Again, Alandra's the one that first said to her, do you trust him? Should you trust him? Are you going to continue to trust him? Alandra's been saying this from day one, and she attacked her. So
Mm-hmm.
I get it, because somebody else was like, the girls aren't being real. They're not telling her what for. And it's like, why? When Alandra tried to nicely and calmly check her, and then also nicely and calmly um be a big sister to tell her, like, listen, is this what he's doing to you? She sat there and tried to get other people to be like, oh, she was mean to me and bullied me. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't blame her. I don't blame them. KB says, and people need time to process. He was in shock too. Fair, fair. KB says Ace doesn't care about her being a single mom. His issue was and remains her behavior, and I agree with that. Uh,
Absolutely.
Dreadful Ruby says, by the end of the episode, I stopped being entertained by Huda. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm
You became
conflicted.
concerned. I'm sorry. I'm dreadful Ruby. You
Yeah,
probably became concerned. Like, now wait
yeah,
a minute.
yeah,
This is verbal abuse. I mean, because it was starting to become like you can't keep calling somebody a PUSSY, a
yeah,
BITCH, and keep, you know what I'm saying? Like, if he was to talk to you crazy, you would be over there crying. And the victim, I can't believe he talked to me like this. I mean, you cry over an unmade pancake. So if he was to have any kind of base of vibrato with you, you would be crying and telling everybody, I can't believe this is how he treats me.
yeah.
But you call him out his name? Like,
And
she
he
took no
was calm. He was like, he wasn't calm, but he was like, wait, now hold up a minute. Now hold up a
Yeah,
minute. Like, give me a moment to speak my piece as well. And so that's why I'm saying I'm conflicted, because while I don't care for him, he
right.
also
Me
was
neither.
not he was not
Thank you.
terrible in those conversations. But
Right, right,
could
right,
be a game. I don't know.
right.
KB says they're all coming off like they're managing Huda. Absolutely. And I don't blame them.
The
Like that.
therapist in me came out because I thought to myself, what she doesn't understand is some people have fight or flight mentality. And
Mm-hmm.
when that happened to him,
Mm-hmm.
he took flight. And when I say he took flight, he really froze. And
Mm-hmm.
he had to process. And
Mm-hmm.
he was trying to only all he could do was manage himself, because he was unsure of what happened himself. He was trying to get himself back right. That's all he was trying to do. And then when he got around to waiting to wanting to talk to you, he heard you in the shower calling him a B already. Like when he finally was like getting himself
Maybe I
together,
could approach her. Yeah.
he hear you in the shower calling him a B. So what he's supposed to do then? Now he's like,
Yeah.
okay, she's too upset. Let me not talk to her now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I mean, I'm not saying that was the right approach, but I understood him in that moment. Like,
Mm-hmm.
she is just so aggressive at times.
Well, I mean, Dreadful Ruby feels like it's starting to become abusive.
Yes.
And KB says he's consistently been calm every time she goes off. Boss Queen says, I don't think she would be crying. She would be ready to throw hands. And it's
That's
possible. And that Jeremiah is a weak man. Yeah, I mean, I have thoughts on Jeremiah. We'll get there. Um, but we
Boss
start.
Queen, wait a minute. Give him some grace. He trying.
I don't know. I don't know if he has grace to give. No, but okay. Um, but we start the episode where we left off last night, which is Charlie has been dumped from the villa. And this morning I woke up, and again, there are a lot of people mad that Charlie was the one dumped. They're insisting that it should have been Huda or Taylor, and I don't agree. I made a TikTok explaining why, because they're mad at Amaya, they're mad at Nick and Ace, and again, I made a TikTok today explaining why that was absolutely the correct decision. And if you missed it, I said it on the show yesterday, and if you missed this, I did a short form of it on my TikTok. Short form being like 6 minutes.
So why would they be mad at Nick and Ace? If they wanted Huda gone, they voted for Huda to leave. So why would they be mad at them?
There were some people. Okay, so there's some people who want Taylor gone, which I don't understand. Taylor has done nothing.
Okay.
And then so I think those were the people who were like, they should have not voted for Huda. They should have voted for Taylor. But they were being on
Staten Island. For Charlie, then they should have voted for Taylor. So why are you just mad at Nick and Ace? Like, what's that about?
Yeah. And they're mad at Amaya. No. They're mad at Amaya for voting off Charlie because that was her friend's man. And how dare she? Meanwhile, we see how Hannah's just rolling on by.
Yes, she just had to be dramatic. Girl, she woke up, went on that date, and forgot about that man. Forgot about that man.
Ready for her lipstick to be her lip gloss to be kissed off tonight. So yeah. No. Again, which is why I said it was the right decision. There's just no reason for Charlie to be in this villa. But we see that he daps Taylor and hugs the girls. They apologize, and the rest of the villa say goodbye. And he goes to Pepe and he hugs him and he tells him he's devastated, but he knows that Pepe's a good guy. And Taylor hugs Amaya. And I do notice a few things in this scene. So I was looking at the background of the scene, like how people were reacting. And so we do see Taylor hugging Amaya, and she says this was not easy for her. And then we see her and Alandra hug, but it looks like they cut it because I think Taylor and Alandra hug, because you see her moving from Taylor to Amaya, and she says she knows that it wasn't easy for her. Mm-hmm. And so it looks like they kind of probably cut out a hug between Alandra and Taylor Taylor and Shelly. That's what it looked like. Okay. So Hannah can't stop crying. He keeps saying that it's not fair. And so Charlie does take her away, and he tells her that it isn't fair, but to come find him on the outside if she doesn't find anybody. Mm-hmm. She apologizes. He said it's not her fault. And exactly what I knew was going to happen happened. Ace confronts Austin about why he chose Taylor to dump. Mm-hmm. And Austin says, I couldn't make a choice, honestly. And Nick says, well, do you see how your decision now sent your best friend home? Because you basically intimating, you should have chose Huda. Huda would have gotten dumped.
And your friend would have still been
your
here.
friend would still be here, and you would not have betrayed your other friend, Taylor.
Well, it would have been tied 3-3, so I don't know what they would have done, but I get what they were saying.
No, it wouldn't have been tied if he had voted for Austin.
I mean, if Austin would have voted
I mean
for
for
Huda,
Huda,
but
yeah.
Amaya still voted for Charlie, so it still would have been 3-3.
There was 6 who voted
People.
for
It was
who's
6 people. It was 3, 2, and 1. So if you take the one away and give it to the one that had 2, it would still be 3-3. It was 3 votes for Charlie, 2 votes for Huda, 1 vote for Taylor. If you would have taken the Taylor vote away and put it with Huda, it still would have been 3-3. It was only 6 votes.
Oh, Sierra. I'm missing Sierra. So Sierra voted for Charlie. Okay, because I'm trying to count who was the other vote.
Yeah.
Okay, so what? Yeah, KB says it wouldn't have been tied. No, it would have been tied because Sierra voted for Charlie. Oh, this hurts. So then Austin says, well, I just thought that Jeremiah and Huda had a good connection. And I'm just like, see, you did the same thing I did because I was like, wait, who was the other voter? Because I didn't remember about her either. Because I was like, wait, no, who's the other vote? Yeah, here. So yeah, he said, I just thought that Jeremiah and Huda had a good connection. Here is where we kind of see the split, right? So it's very clear that the split is Austin, Jeremiah, and Charlie, and Nick, Ace, Taylor. And
but Jeremiah didn't think it was a split. He thought they were all his boys.
Yeah, he did.
And so he didn't think it was a split. Austin really doesn't receive anything from Ace. He already can't stand Ace. Like he tried to keep it under wraps, but he can't stand Ace. So he don't even want Ace questioning him. You know what I'm saying? So he already irritated. Ace already irritated at Austin, so he couldn't wait to confront him about something. They already got underlining beef. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's just.
Bosque says, why does everyone have to explain to Ace? I'm gonna say this. You can say a lot.
She the only boss. She the only boss.
You can say a lot about Ace, but I said it yesterday. I feel like Ace is a loyal person. I think he values loyalty a lot. And I do feel like he feels like Austin was disloyal to the Brotherhood. And then he feels like Jeremiah is betraying the process of Love Island. Mm-hmm. And I feel him. Like, I get what he's saying. I see it. And so for him, I think it's tunnel vision for him in that. And we saw him. He was pontificating like most of this beginning because he was so upset. But the thing is, he was making really, really good points. Because most of us have made those points on the outside.
Yeah. Sometimes you don't like the messenger, but the message is clear.
And the KB points this out. It's big Leo energy. You might not like the messenger. But the message is correct. And KB points out something that's absolutely true. Ace's very existence pisses Austin off because Austin is not as confident as Ace, and he doesn't know how to be. He just doesn't. Right. Well, I'll get there. I'm not even going to bring it up.
He still hasn't stepped it up. Why he over there gritting it?
Okay, so I was about to say that, and I was like, no, I'll discuss it later because I'm a rant. So Austin has yet to step it up because, in my opinion, he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to.
He wouldn't have. He wishes there would be someone else to come in and give him the time of day so he could be off of her. Because, like he told her this episode, he really want to pull back. He really don't want to do this.
Out of this triangle.
He don't want this.
No.
He don't want this.
He he is seriously not doing anything to step it up. So yeah, no. No. Draper Ruby says, I think Austin is playing just as much of a game to win. He's just playing it differently. I don't agree. I don't think he's trying to win.
No, I don't think he's trying to win.
Like, I'm not saying he's not playing a game. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying he's not playing a game. I'm not saying that he's not trying to entertain. I don't think that he is trying to win this game. I think that's where
he's not trying to fall in love. He's not trying to win.
He's not trying to be with Huda. He's not trying to take her from Jeremiah. He doesn't care about that. He just cares about being in this villa and entertaining. Mm-hmm. And he said it. He said, listen to Taylor, I may tell you a joke, but I'll never tell you a lie. That's him wrapped up in like a perfectly pat statement. He will entertain.
My grandma used to say that all the time.
Never going to tell a lie.
I may laugh and joke, but goddamn it, I don't play.
Yes. KB says, I also think maybe a villain, but he's pretty honest, and I think he respects people being honest. That's what I'm saying. I think that's what he values. And KB says, hate to say it, but Ace is right. Aaron's here. Hi, Aaron. Aaron says, Ace has a Napoleon complex on steroids. His tattoos are awful, just like his overall attitude. I mean,
now he does have Napoleon complex. Now he does have that. Two things can be true. Yeah. Two things can be true.
But he's not a liar. So, no, I mean, yeah. But he's not a liar. Sorry.
He's a manipulator at times. Tries to manipulate the situation with women. He tries to smooth talk. But if you notice, he never comes out and says things. So he's not a liar. He just kind of skates around things. He makes women think that he's feeling a certain type of way, but he never says it. So he can never be, quoted as a liar. So he's not a liar. He's not a liar.
No. Ace isn't playing to win. He's entertaining himself and the rest of us, and he's enjoying a summer with pretty women. Period. Dreadful Ruby says he's a prick. I've said this.
True.
So, I mean, again, as Ms. T. Joy says, two things can be true. Lots of things can be true. Aaron feels like they're all trying to get to Casa. I don't know if I agree with that either. I don't.
Right now, I don't even think that they can see themselves above water. I'm trying to tell you, Austin, I think Austin is trying to make it to Casa. I really do. Yeah. But I think the rest of Ace is just trying to entertain.
Yeah.
Nick is trying to stay out of the drama. He for once, it's not me. Me and Sierra are chilling. Let it just not be me. You know what I mean? Jeremiah is trying to have Huda stop harassing him. Taylor is trying to get Alandra back. You know what I mean? So I really don't think a lot of them, except for Austin, are even thinking about Casa. They trying to survive for 2 days from now. Okay?
Yeah, I agree with that. So where were we? So Nick says, no offense to you, Jeremiah, but Charlie and Hannah have actually been through things and come back from that. And Jeremiah says, so Huda and I haven't gone through anything. And Nick says, let me finish. The biggest thing you've been through is an argument about another man making her pancakes. The pancakes she asked Taylor for. Jeremiah, I can't control her not pulling you out for chats. Now he's trying to twist it and make it seem like they're upset because Huda refused to get to know them. And I think at this point, he doesn't realize they don't give a fuck about Huda now.
Right.
They've been not giving a fuck about her. And a lot of people out there don't realize that as well. That these men don't care about Huda anymore. They just feel like Huda is messing up all of their experience.
Yeah.
And I can understand that as well. So he says, both of you have been closed off. It's tunnel vision since day one. Jeremiah says, but if you found someone you want to connect and explore with, what's the issue? How are you going to tell me how to date? Nick says, she has been putting hickeys on you to where you can't even have conversations with other women because you're closed off, not because you say so. but because
Exactly.
she's marked you as such.
Thank you.
I was
Speak
like,
on it, Nick. Speak
damn, Nick,
on it.
preach, preach.
His skin, his Nick's skin is doing a lot, but speak on it. Where did he
Uh,
get that cold sore from?
I don't think it was a cold sore because I don't think they wouldn't have him kiss. They would have had him host the game.
What? Oof. I don't know what it is. It's not cute. I
KB
don't know.
says we're far enough in that people's representatives are leaving and they're settling in. They're being more true to themselves. You can see the shift in real time. Absolutely, I agree. Um, so A says you don't see how that's crazy. Mind you, understand Jeremiah's been going back and forth with Nick this entire time. This is the first time Ace has said anything.
Mm-hmm.
Anything. Alandra to Huda, though, because at this point they're yelling, cover your
Mm-hmm.
ears. And Jeremiah is saying, well, we found a connection. We like each other. We've explored that further. Ace says, you're bullshitting me. And I'm not going for the bullshit. Jeremiah says, what's the bullshit? Ace, you're lying. Jeremiah, how am I lying? Ace, you're lying. You're acting like you are all about one person since day one. That's scamming to me. Off rip? I'm telling you. Jeremiah, is that scamming? Ace, I'm telling you. Jeremiah, isn't the point of Love Island to find someone you like? I did that. Ace said, no. He's saying at the same time, no, it's about exploring. And to me, it depends on the person, but I truly feel like if you came on just to find somebody that you like, go on The Bachelor, go on Married at First Sight, go on Love is Blind. To me, this show is about exploring. It's
Yes,
about
it is.
going over the
It is.
summer on the beach, having this free summer to explore different people that you may never see in your real world life, right? From all different types of walks of life. That's what this show is about.
Absolutely.
And Ace says, how are you so short in 30 seconds in? And Jeremiah says, I got to know her. Nick says, you swerved the second girl that came in for you.
Swerved. Sierra swerved her. Swerved her.
Yeah, he did. Jeremiah, who's supposed to be the closest thing to his type, he didn't even try to get to know her. And
Nope.
I think for them, if he had tried to get to know Sierra or even Amaya, they would have not been on this right now. Jeremiah's like, I didn't want her to steal me. Oh, it was Ulysses. Oh, sorry, that's funny. Jennifer Ruby said it at the same time. It was actually Ulysses because he said his type was foreign. And so I think,
was there the first day. The first.
yeah, but remember, he said, it's not my fault. I didn't want her to steal me. I don't regret a damn thing I did. That was about the kiss.
Oh, okay.
Nick says, you're thinking that we're the only ones thinking this. Mind you, I want to point out, Ace has said about 3 things. Nick is the one mostly talking. It'll
Right.
become relevant in a minute. Nick says, you're thinking that we're the only ones thinking this, but it's America. Ace is like, you know how big America is? And Jeremiah's like, America's not dating. America is not my relationship. What does that have to do with anything? Now, understand, America is not dating. America is not your relationship, but America is fucking voting. And we will
Exactly.
vote your
And
ass
you know that.
out.
And you knew that before you came on the show. And you know that. So why are you saying, what does America have to do with anything? You know what we have to do with it. So why are you even saying that?
KB
And if
says,
you feel that way, America can send you and her home. How about that?
oh, KB says he swerved Yuckalissa, then acted like a stone statue with Sierra, and then a wet cardboard with Amaya during the kiss. Period. King Cash is here. King Cash says Ace was like, it's not just me, it's what the culture's feeling, and that's on period. And so Nick says, I'm telling you how I feel though. And Jeremiah's like, I don't give a fuck about how anybody feels. About how I like somebody. I was like, oh, okay.
He sure did. That's why I was surprised. He had a little vibrato in his voice then and was like, I don't give a F. You know what I'm saying? So I thought he was all right. And then he just shut down.
Was it?
But he
Yeah.
was so upset. Did you notice that he kept saying it's one thing to be beefing with her, but to be beefing with his boys, that hurt him? He really was hurt by
It's
everybody. He felt
Aaron
like
all over again. It's Aaron all over again. Like he didn't give a fuck about Kaylor. All he cared about was that Rob stayed in the villa for him and his boys. Yeah. And KB says what I'm saying. Well, America will show you real soon what we will have to do with it. Period.
mm-hmm.
Period. And so he says, I don't give a fuck what anybody feels or how I like something. Ace, cool, understood. Jeremiah says, then if that's how you feel, stay on that side. Ace, I've been on that side since day one. And I was like, period, because he really had.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why he's so mad at Ace. Because even though Ace was not saying a lot in this conversation, Ace has been saying something all along. And
Yep.
he at his wit end. He's at his wit's end with Ace. In this moment. He's at his wit's end.
Yeah. Jeremiah says, for sure. Because he knows that. He knows it's the truth. He's been calling him out since day one. Jeremiah ITM said, the second that Charlie went home, the Brotherhood fell apart. I lost all of my friends. So I guess he feels like, because Huda got saved for him, that the Brotherhood fell apart because Charlie went home instead. And he's not realizing it's because they don't feel like you're being real. And that you took something from somebody who was.
Right.
Huda says, it's not our fault that we found each other. It's not our fault. It's the way God wanted it to happen. I said, don't bring God in this. I feel like America fucking hates me. Alandra, America knows something that you don't. America isn't against you. They might be with you. They might just want you to wake up. I'm like, close. Like, we want her to wake up, but we're definitely not with her.
Right. Hello.
You need to be more open-minded. Absolutely. You don't know what he's doing on the other side. Don't embarrass yourself going too far for him. Also, a fair point. Fair. Listen, Alandra was on the level here. KB says, Ola, ma'am, no, we hate her. I don't hate Huda. I want to make this clear. I don't hate Huda. I feel sorry for her. I don't necessarily like her. I don't hate her.
No.
There are people I hate on this show. Kendall's ass. Let's start with him. And I will stay on his neck forever.
Yeah, he's a
fraud. I don't hate her. And King Cash agrees. I don't hate Huda. She's just annoying. Period.
And delusional.
And a liar.
Yes. Yeah. And not a girl. Again, at the end of the show. Again.
Not a girl's girl. Yeah. It says, Huda, I don't know what's going on. Alandra, talk to Nick and Ace. They did it in front of you for a reason. They wanted you to hear it. So ask them. And KB corrects herself. Man, we deeply dislike her and want her on the flight home immediately. See, that's better. I can agree with that entire statement.
Yes.
And verbally abusive. Absolutely.
Yes.
Huda says, why are grown men, though, judging a couple if we're good? Because you're not good.
And she knows they're not good. And see, this is the part where we're talking about being a liar. She knows that they're having issues, but she told him and threatened him, don't ever let anybody know we got any problems going on. You can't let anybody know. Not the boys, not the girls, nobody. But you forget you being filmed. You do know that we can see them, regardless of whether y'all tell anybody else. We can see. You do know we watch, right?
America can see it.
Right.
America can see it. Like, I get it that you don't what the rest of the village did, but we can see it. We know the truth.
Exactly.
We know what is true. There's no doubts in our head. Why? You think the show is giving you this glowing edit because you're in a couple that you found from day one and you feel like y'all are mom and dad. The only people calling you mom and dad is your ass. And Jennifer Ruby points out they fight constantly. How does she have
Yes,
such little self-awareness? That's what I'm saying.
that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
It's ridiculous.
And
Him too. He was like, we had an argument a couple days ago, but we fixed it. Like they just had one
we all
argument.
good. I'm like, no, you didn't. You still in the damn argument. She's still bringing up the pain.
Exactly.
What? KB says common tactic of abuse is to try to isolate the victim. But who's isolating who? Guess they both ain't shit. Jennifer Ruby says, I never heard Shelly was as a short form of Michelle, but I love it. Yes, I did.
Oh, you have it? Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. And KB points out the only time they're not fighting is she's using sex to hold on to him. Facts.
Absolutely. Facts. Every time they have some problems, she straddle them, give them a hickey, kiss them, hump them,
Which is what Ace and Nick were pointing out. It's not healthy behaviors, and you're fucking up the vibe on the island. She's like, well, it doesn't make sense. It's either their egos or they don't like when people are happy. I don't fucking know. It's neither. It's not. We don't have ego. What is our ego in this? Huda ITMs. She just feels like America doesn't think she's good enough for Jeremiah. I'm like, no, that's not it.
She just wants to be the victim. Yeah, she want to be the victim now, so we can feel sorry for her, and we don't.
And all I can say is I'm sorry. That's all I can say.
It's not enough. So move on.
Charlie packs to go. Austin is upset in the beach hut. He says he regrets picking Taylor. I really wish I had moved and made a different choice.
You probably wish you voted for somebody else too in the other election. But you don't make good choices, Austin. That's the problem.
Right.
You don't make good choices.
Hannah can't stop crying. Alandra says there's so much tension, I don't know what to do. Shelly says it just doesn't feel right. Iris says, I think America sees Jeremiah. Alandra says as a fraud. Shelly says maybe. Iris says no. They could be saying, okay, you found someone, so then test it. And Alandra's like, yeah, test it. Because I think she realizes that that's what we're doing for her. Right. That she needs to test not just her relationship, her feelings, but also Taylor's feelings for her. And that's basically what happened, right? So she's not taking offense to it because she realizes that that's what we're doing, right? And
that's if she's well.
Yeah, and then if somebody that's your type to a T comes in, you should then take what you're seeing and try. And I think she was open to it, but Jalen also was not showing her shit. I'm sorry, I stand by that. He didn't show her nothing. The first day
more and more unattractive as the days go by.
Oh my god!
They told me Charles, Miss Netta. I can't unsee it. And I think he's not attractive anymore. I can't unsee it.
Yeah, I said he's not ugly, but yeah, no,
I don't want it.
And so we do see that Alandra's like, test it. If that's the only way you're going to know if it's going to work out, smooth sailing every day. How will you know if it's going to work? And we just remember she had a conversation with Taylor and they thought that they were smooth sailing, right? So now she's realizing, okay, this is crazy. I'm glad he didn't go home, but obviously America is seeing something that they want to shake us up, whether they want to shake me up, shake him up, shake us both up. So that's what I'm going to go with, right? And that's why I like Alandra. That's why she's my fave, because she has the best discernment in this place. She does. Maya says, though, but the guys got into it with Jeremiah. Iris says, do you think Jeremiah would have left with Huda had she been the one dumped? And they all say no.
Hannah did all that performing and wouldn't leave. Ain't nobody leaving.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, so we do see that Alandra says apparently America's hearing some shit and seeing some shit that we haven't seen yet. And Alandra says, asks us, what are y'all seeing? What am I not seeing? America, you tore us up with that one. Now everybody beefing. and,
Everybody be.
everybody, and so Austin goes to the only man that he can still talk to, as King Cash says. Uh, at least he has Austin. And he basically is like, Charlie is just gone. And, it makes him sad. And Jeremiah says, I don't know how I'm the bad guy, though. I didn't even vote or nothing. It's like, I don't know, man. Jeremiah, and I said yesterday, remember I said, I've the feeling that for Ace, it's just that Jeremiah's just taking up space in the villa. They could be bringing in more people for people to get to know, but you and Huda are taking up space, fucking up the vibe. Yeah, and I said, I'm telling you the truth right now, guys. If he was in the bottom instead of Huda, like if we had put Huda with Pepe or something, I'm pretty sure he would have voted Jeremiah.
Yeah, he would have. Absolutely, he would have.
KB says that part. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I don't think it has to, because so many people keep saying it has to do with Huda. It has to do. No, he would have voted Jeremiah out the same way. The same way. Because he feels like they're just taking up space. But also sucking the air out of the villa.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you call it? Jeremiah says, I'm just so surprised at Nick. Austin, I'm not. Jeremiah, not about his vote or what he had to say. Austin says, I'm not. He's an Ace follower. Their little ringleader Ace is going to tell them all what to do. And I'm like, again, remember I pointed out to you, Ace said about 3 or 4 things. The person who was talking the entire time, also the person who's the closest to Jeremiah in the situation, because Jeremiah, we know, has not been telling Ace all the stuff that's been going on with Huda. There was only one person that in the situation who knew that Huda had a child. There's only one person in this situation who knew that all the complaints that Jeremiah has been making for the last few days, with the pancakes and how she was talking to him and all this stuff, because he was confiding in Nick, and that is why Nick was the only one speaking. But Austin has such a hard on for Ace that he's putting this on as if Ace is the one that was running the show. How? Ace didn't even have all the information.
He just feels like Ace is the ringleader of those guys, and he is.
And he is. But on this situation,
no, I think he was just telling him in general, like, look at them over there, like they just sitting there watching him, and he's saying, don't be surprised at anything Nick does, regardless of whether you confide in him or not. He follows his orders, like, so don't be surprised by anything. Like,
but he didn't follow his orders in this situation. Nick had the most information and was the most informed in the decision making.
I know that, and you know that. Austin doesn't know that, so Austin just feels like Nick is following down behind Ace because that's what he always does, and he's just telling him, you haven't been able to pick up on the fact that they're a group. You're thinking you got this equal thing with Nick. You're thinking you're close with Nick. Austin is not coming at it because he doesn't know anything about the mom part. He's just saying, you're surprised by Nick and I am not, because you think that you're closer to Nick than what you are. That's just the way he's coming from it. Not about, we're right. Nick had the most information to make that informed decision. But from Austin's perspective, he's just talking about the fact that Jeremiah thinks that he's closer to Nick than what he is. He's letting them know, no, that right there, you can't come between that. They a pack and they follow behind him. He's their leader.
But then that goes back to what I'm saying. I had this conversation with somebody else. Listen, I get it. You don't like Ace, but you're conflating two things then, because that is not what Jeremiah is talking about, though. He's talking
But
about
Austin doesn't know that because Jeremiah is not telling Austin all the things that I've confided in Nick. Nick shouldn't do me like that. Austin is just coming from it from his perspective, not knowing that Jeremiah is coming from it from another perspective because Jeremiah has not shared that information. So there, I understand what you're saying, and I understand that's how Jeremiah is looking at it. But Austin is just sitting there with him saying that, not knowing all the information. So it's kind of messed up. Like Austin's making that comment, but he doesn't know all the information. And Jeremiah's not going to tell him because again, she holds the secret like it's her chastity belt, and like only certain people can know she has a kid. So Jeremiah's just sitting there like, I'm surprised by Nick because in his head he's thinking Nick knows all this stuff.
knows
I
the
told him
most
all this stuff.
information. Yes.
Right, right. But
Because he
Austin
didn't
doesn't
say
know
I'm
that.
surprised by Ace because first of all, Ace has been telling him from day one he don't
Right.
believe in it.
Hello. Like he
And
said,
so
I've been on this side. I've been on
uh,
this side.
Nick also picked first, and Austin's brain dead ass can't remember it because he got room temperature IQ. Absolutely. And Mr. Jacksonville was standing on the square. Austin is projecting. He really is projecting. So we do see that Ace is like, honestly, I'm sorry. It's a scam to me. You're in here since day one. You don't feel like anyone else is your type. You're closed off. You're bullshitting me. And I'm not going for it. It's a scam. All of America sees that shit. You're here to say that I made it with someone to the end. Y'all got an agenda, or else someone has more feelings than the other. Am I the only one peeping this shit? And I was like, nope. I've been peeping it for what, episode 1.
Yes.
Speak for me, Ace. Speak for me. And Taylor, Pepe, and Jayla's like, no, not at all. Like, really, because they see it. And Ace says, are you not going to send people home who are actually here to actually try and find something? And this is when I was like, he was pissed that Charlie went home, and he was pissed that Taylor almost went home. And he's like, I'll be damned if somebody is actually trying and gets sent home for that shit. Fuck that. That shit is weird as hell. KB says, America peeped at Ace. We stand with Ace, period. Austin's like, why is he so emotional about it? Look, he's standing passionately. That's so crazy. That's nuts. I'm not even doing that. And therein is the rub, Austin. You stand for nothing. And that's why you'll not have Shelly. You stand for shit. And that's why you're not going to get Shelly. I'm not saying that Ace is going to get Shelly. I'm saying you're not going to get Shelly because you don't stand for nothing.
Right.
And I'm sorry, it's like the juxtapose of listening to Austin bitch and moan and whine because why does Ace get to have emotions about something that he doesn't know why he's having emotions about? Meanwhile, Ace was sitting there making valid points because his friends, one friend went home and his better friend almost went home.
Chad, the rest of them though, while Ace is doing all that, the rest of them just like, we don't even know what happened. Like everybody
They're all quiet. They're all quieter guys. I think for real. Like I think the rest of them are just quiet guys. Appreciate says poor Taylor. All he know is his girl gone and he trying to process everything. And poor Ace is pontificating. He's just like,
and look, Taylor got to process it while Jalen's sitting right there on the same row. Like,
but don't you see, like the big one? He's still right here. Like, I lost my girl to her.
Right.
Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, all right, what do I do? Like, we got to figure out what I'm gonna do. I can't even worry about Jeremiah's bullshit right now. We've been dealing with this since day one.
Ace gonna get on him in a minute. He gonna fuss him out in a minute. Say, this your problem. He was over. He gonna tell everybody their problem.
It's like, okay, he definitely did. Was like, okay, so now that we done with that, you see what I was telling? Okay, we gotta get there. We gotta get there. Buffing Queen thinks Ace does too much, and then he and I do too much,
and Austin does too little,
and Austin does too little. And I'm gonna say this. I'd rather a motherfucker that does too much than a motherfucker who does too little. Sorry.
Amen.
Oglen, hey Oglen says recoupling tomorrow. Who gets Amaya and who gets Huda, Taylor or Austin? No. We'll come back to this. That's not happening. Thank you. Just what the frick? Exactly, KB. That's what we're saying. Taylor was trying to figure out when Austin was going to stop arguing to help him plan these dates to get his woman back. He's like, why? Do you see what just happened to me?
Right.
Meanwhile, Taylor, everybody worried about people who almost went home. Taylor could give a fuck about the fact that he almost went home. He's still here. He wants his girl back.
Gone. I'm still here. How I get my girl back?
And not because he could go home tomorrow. He don't give a fuck about that. He's like, do you understand? I just lost my girl. Like, what are we doing? I'm still here. He's still here. We're okay. Charlie's gone.
Right.
Oh, what?
Right.
Kid Cat says Taylor needs to start stealing Ace's ideas as soon as. No, that ping pong and pancakes idea was fucking good too.
That was so cute. That was cute. That was fun.
I feel like the good thing about Ace is that he does seem to tailor shit to Shelly.
Yeah.
And so that's why he was trying to tell Taylor, like, you need to tailor what you want to do to your girl.
Right.
And he was right. He wasn't wrong.
He better do something to mine. He better do it quick.
Yeah.
Well, he might have already done it. Because I think
he better have already done it.
Night. What we saw was really Saturday night.
I think they're gonna break over. Yeah, but they're gonna break over the weekend. So I don't know if it's. Remember, we're one episode, so it's either the break was Saturday or Sunday.
Well, remember he had that shirt on at After Sun. Mm-hmm. Him and Nick had those outfits that they had on the night on After Sun.
Okay. But then that would have been so then that doesn't make sense. After Sun was recorded like early Friday morning for our time.
He had that green and white like shirt on After Sun, unless he wore it twice. You see what I'm saying? He could have just.
I think he might have.
Yeah, he might have just wore it for After Sun, put on something real quick. They were like, "You got to be on After Sun." Took it off.
Boss Queen says it's Friday morning. I'm pretty sure because I remember waking up to Janae and Serena's post about being on After Sun. Okay, we'll get back to that. KB says Taylor's like, sir, I've got big problems. You over here chopping down trees and scalping people. Absolutely. And if Ace don't know nothing, he know how to show a girl he's interested in Amaya, Huda, and Jeremiah's cases. That's why they can't stand you. Yeah. Prishay says Taylor is a trick on the outside because as soon as Ace was talking, he was like, well, what am I supposed to do in here? And that's what I'm saying. I've been saying.
We told you that? He said that.
He said that to her.
I had that conversation off.
We did. We had that conversation. So Miss T. Joy and I had this conversation like after we ended the show last week sometime, probably about this time last week. And we were like, that's his issue. His issue is he likes to give gifts. He will spend his money on his woman. And so remember, she said she was a tricky mama. And he was like,
he was tricky. Yeah, they both were like they trick out on
it. They both like they trick out, and so I think that's his issue. He doesn't know how to do more romantic things. In his head, romance is to go and probably either spend a lot of money or buy something like super significant, right? Which would get a woman, to be honest. Right. Or he might just buy flowers every day. He might not say, babe, you look great today, but he might buy her beautiful flowers every day while they're together. I think that's Taylor. And so for him, he's like, how do I bring that energy into this business?
That's why I told Tamika, he and I see him every day, like, just take my black credit card, the black one that I got in there, that Visa ending in 4 or 5. take that one and get her the following things and just bring them in here. I need to get my girl stuff. Y'all keeping me from getting my girl back. Like, he probably is yelling, like, I want to spend money. And they probably like, no. And because he was mad. He like, I don't put in all this time with her. We ain't going on no date. She done already went on a date with this guy. He's like so bothered. This is the first time I was like, Taylor likes her. He was hot and bothered today.
Yeah. I mean, I've been seeing, but that's why I said I just need him to meet this moment. I think that he can, and I'm seeing it. I'm seeing him meet the moment. We need to see further, but the energy he's bringing is totally different energy. He's really just like, oh no, this is not happening, and again. I point out not to stay in the villa because he truly realizes that he lost a gem, which is the right energy for me. So yeah, Austin is like, I don't think it was fair for them to go after Jeremiah, for having a deep connection. If anything, Jeremiah should be pissed. He's in the couple with Iris, who, doesn't even want to be, he doesn't want to be with. Fuck all of them. Piss me off to the max. As King Cash states here, Austin can't believe he's losing Shelly to a 5'5" man, period. And KB feels Austin is longing it out so he can make it to Casa. That's always why Ace don't care if he's pissing him off. He sees through him, and I kind of agree with that. I do think it's a lot of he sees through him. Sorry. Let's see, where are we? Oh gosh, you guys were chatting. So
what about somebody said he better go get some shells and make a necklace?
Yes, he get on his errand. He better. KB says that's why Taylor feels like he can't get his bearings. That is I totally believe that's why he feels like he can't get his bearings. KB says that's why he makes a breakfast. Yeah, because I think his second thing is to show is acts of service. And so that I feel like
breakfast is the bare minimum now, guys. And here goes Nick and Taylor. Yep. Yeah. Oh my
God. Yeah. So we see that Jeremiah says, "I appreciate you, Austin. We got each other." I was like, I'm sure that won't stay for long. Hannah pulls Pepe for a chat. She tells him it's not his fault. They agreed to take things slow, and that's pretty much all I got from that conversation. Huda pulls Ace.
She was on the bed with the pictures, and then an hour later, Pepe, can I? I said, "That's my girl, Hannah. She bounced back for it."
Yeah.
You can't keep a good woman down.
And KB says Ace was orchestrating. He gonna make sure those boys get them a girl by the end of this. The funny part is Ace is like, no, you can't sit here and find a girl and stick with her until the end. And he has been trying to get Taylor to commit to Alandra because he knows to me he's his Janae, right? Like he's the voice of reason. Like Janae was the voice of reason for Serena. Like that had to tell her like Serena, you like him. Like you're gonna still sleep in the bed with him, even though y'all are supposedly friends. You're still going to do this. You're not being real with yourself. I think Ace saw that with Taylor. Like you know that you like her. So if you like her and you want to keep her, you need to step it up. And I just think that's what he kept seeing, why he keeps orchestrating. Because I've said this before. I don't think Nick and Ace would be so pushing Taylor to do so much for Alandra if they didn't truly believe that he really, really liked her. Like truly liked her and was attracted to her. So, but yes, he's like, we're going to have girls at the end of this. Or y'all going to have girls. I might not have a girl, but y'all gonna have your girl at the end of it. Huda says, Ace, can I pull you for a chat? She's like, is there something that you guys aren't telling me? Please don't make me look stupid. Ace says, well, when I see y'all conversations, you guys are having, that scares me. I feel like it's a mad love bombing, fair, but I feel like it's on both sides. In my head, you're coming in here with an agenda. You're trying to be Mr. We've been locked down since day one. We're going to leave the villa together. Fuck that. I'm sorry, I'm not buying that. How is it that Ace at 22, I don't even know how much times he's watched Love Island, have literally peeped Jeremiah's game?
But it's
Literally
hers
peeped it.
too. It's Jeremiah's and hers.
But I feel like that is Jeremiah's game to the T. Huda's game is try to be Miss Popular, not necessarily get to the end to win, but just to be popular
And to be with Jeremiah.
and to be with Jeremiah. KB says, and I think they truly like Ola. Nick, Ace, and Taylor definitely engaged with Ola and Shelly in a way that's very distinct from the other girls. Absolutely. Absolutely. Prashay says Ace was like, okay, cool, you're a mom, so is my mom. Anyways.
It's right. Exactly.
He's like, I get it. I get that's how it looks. I get it. I get it. Ace says, I'm not the only one peeping it. There's some people feel the same way. America felt the same way. I said, preach, Ace. Please let him know. Jeremiah and Iris chat separately, and Jeremiah says, I don't really know why America did this. Just caught me off guard. Iris says, this is the only place where it's socially acceptable to talk to multiple people at once. And exploring those types of connections. It feels like maybe America was like, all they doing is fighting. Maybe? And Jeremiah says, well, we definitely had a bad argument a couple of days ago, but we had a great conversation to bounce back quickly. I was like, no, you didn't.
And you had that today. Don't you know we already voted? Like, why are you talking about what you did today a few hours ago?
Yeah.
And this is not the first argument. They keep trying to act like they only have one argument about these doggone pancakes. And she been stressing you, talking about you don't do enough, you need to do more, you gotta eat your food, you always talking about stock you. Y'all be fussing every day. Stop acting like that. Like, that's what I'm saying. Neither one of them is taking responsibility. Like,
I know. He says it's weird. I said, no, it's not. Y'all are weird. Ace says, I don't know what you've been through in your past where you let people in so quickly, but that's a red flag to me. He's like, that may have you already let somebody so close on day one is it, and he just feels like that it's wild. Huda says, well, Ace, can I tell you the reason? And I'm like, this is not the reason why you're moving this way. This is not the reason why you're moving this way. Don't use your child as the reason why you're fucking moving this way. That's pissing me off.
Exactly.
Because literally, I have 3 children, and I do not move this way.
Right.
I move like it absolutely in the opposite direction.
Right.
She's like, I'm moving this way because I'm being careful with who I talk to and truly invest in one person. I'm a mother. It's not easy to date. And I'm like, this is bullshit.
It is.
now I'm on my Ace. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna let you do that because you're gonna teach young women who have children that this is how you should move.
Right.
You find somebody on day one and you suck onto them and then you sleep with them and you withhold information and you're fighting and you're no, this doesn't have anything to do with you being a mother and parenting a child.
Exactly.
Huda says, Ace says, I understand that. My mom was a single mom, a young single mom. So I can understand where you're coming from where it's harder to date. And I'm like, he's probably in his head now, like, oh, that's even worse. Like you're literally going too fast.
Right.
And Huda is like, well, in my brain, I left her for this experience. It's obvious America doesn't agree with my experience in here. Ace says, understand America's position. They can be looking at you like you are so locked in, and it could be a blessing in disguise to say, Huda, that ain't for you. Literally, that is what's going on.
Right.
That's literally how we think of it. You should not be this locked in to this man so quickly. I'm sorry. Right. There's no reason. Per se says, I don't like how she's acting like being a mom is a bad thing when it's a blessing. If someone doesn't accept your child up front, then they're not for you. Absolutely.
Exactly. And move on. And move on.
KB
And be
says this is not the relationship she should be displaying or modeling for her daughter. And I mean, not even
absolutely.
for her daughter, because her daughter's not watching Love Island, but other young women who were either in her position pre having a child or in her position post having a child, right? Like
Absolutely.
who maybe aren't on Love Island but are dating and single and navigating that. This is not how you act.
Right.
This is not how you navigate dating and relationships while being a mother. And this has
Exactly.
nothing to do, you know, with going to an island to find connections and date. I don't have a problem with that she did that. I have a problem with that she uses her being a mother as some sort of things to gatekeep people
Yes. And to
or
get out of shucking responsibility for her
fucking
behavior.
responsibility. I thoroughly am offended by that.
Absolutely.
It's manipulative. It's manipulative. Kiwi says her daughter isn't watching, but she's exposing her child to a person and see how she vets that quality of man she allows access to. Fair, fair. I don't, you know what is funny? It's, you say this and this is absolutely correct, but I don't ever believe he was ever going to be her child, but that's,
You neither. Mm-mm.
I think that's where I'm coming from. It's like, I just don't think he was ever going to meet her child, but you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. KB says same. I'm already not into when she chose to hide being a mom. Yeah. And so Ace is like, uh, 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 oh no, it's Huda says, uh, America hates me, or they are seeing something I'm not seeing. I'm not neither is either it's not good or I'm not hearing. And so we see Jeremiah says, I just didn't expect the guys to switch up like that. I felt like the second I walked up, they were blaming me for getting so close to Huda. And I was like, that is not what they were trying to do. They're not trying to blame you for getting close to Huda. They were trying to explain to you why it's obvious you're in this position that you said is wild and weird because you did something that's not working for America.
Right.
And you need to take a real hard look at why that is. And Iris says, I don't think they should have blamed you. Jeremiah's like, I just feel like losing the guys like that. Jeremiah's like, well, what I always say is whatever is meant to be is meant to be. Things happen for a reason. Sorry that happened, though. Jeremiah says, you don't have to apologize. Maybe I'm doing everything wrong, but I have no regrets. Jeremiah ITMs, I don't know if America don't like me and Huda, or they don't like me, or they don't like Huda, or they want me with Iris. But either way, I'm not going to jump from girl to girl or be fake about something. Huda says to Ace, I appreciate you being real with me because this is causing me to second guess what is going on right now, and it's clear I'm missing something. Iris asks if he's going to chat to Huda, and he says, not tonight, maybe tomorrow. I want to go to bed. And I was like, that
Wrong
what?
move. Wrong move.
Listen, I was with you, guy, until this.
Right.
Why you not talking to her before
Right.
bed?
It was very cowardly. It really was. It was. And I felt to myself, he's still trying to process. But I just felt like if you're able to have a conversation, I mean, Iris did pull him though. But it's like that's my problem sometimes
But he
with people.
didn't have to say anything, Miss T Joy. Like all he had to do was like go to Huda come here and just hug her.
I know. I know.
He just hug her. And if she
I
wanted
know.
to scream and cry and yell and scream, just let her.
I know. Just be present. I know.
And then say, listen, we'll talk in the morning. I need to sleep. You need to sleep. We'll figure this out and go to bed. Look how
Yeah.
simple that is. But I
Yeah.
told you, I think he hates her. I think he hates her.
He doesn't hate her, Tamika. He does not hate her. But she also was mad that he slept in that bed. Because you know how Ace goes to Soul's house because he don't want to sleep in the bed with Amaya because they don't fell out so bad. I think she also was mad that he slept in that bed with her. You know what I mean? Like, she wanted him to, like, sleep somewhere else just to not sleep in the bed because he's so heartbroken that he can't sleep in the bed with her. You know, I think she resented that too.
She did. Boss Queen points out because he's a scammer and now he will use Iris to win since America put them together. I can
Oh,
see
he's
that.
not winning. He's never
But
going
he's
to
just not
win.
win. He doesn't realize he's not going to win. We just wanted
Right.
y'all split up. King Cash says he was trying to process how to win. Yes, I
That part.
can see
He
that.
might be doing that. You're right.
He's
He
been
might
like,
be doing
wait, I thought I did it exactly right. No. Again, I said you're cosplaying as you were trying to cosplay as Serena and Cordell, and you can't do that. You can't. Genuineness cannot be
that. Mhm.
cosplayed.
Right.
Real cannot be faked.
Right.
KB says she might have called him a P and B one too many times. Absolutely did that, but this was
Absolutely. But she hadn't done it at this
he
point.
hasn't done it yet. I would give it to him that she actually hasn't done it yet.
Hmm.
um, and so we do see Taylor and Ace chat, and Ace says, "You see what happens when you don't step it up and aren't sure about shit. You get put into situations like this." Taylor nods. Yeah, he gets it now. Ace
Yeah.
says, "Now you sure? Can you see yourself with her long term?" Taylor says, "For real, for real? The growth for me liking her in the past week has been crazy. Every day now, it's just," and he points up and up and up. "I really do fuck with her, bro. And now we know it's real. Because
Hmm.
don't be saying I really do fuck with her unless
Yeah.
it's real." Um, Alandra and Jalen chalk on the dot. And Jalen, what do you think about the decision? Alandra, well, I'm not shocked, but that really shook the villa. Um, Jalen says, "I've been interested in you from day one." And I'm just like,
It's only
uh,
been 2, 3 days. Okay.
okay. Alandra says, "You have great taste." I love her. I love her so much. I'm sorry. Nobody's gonna make
Hmm.
me hate this girl.
Hmm.
And he's like, "Yeah." And it's like, dang, see, no, like he didn't meet that moment for me,
No,
but
he didn't.
he,
No, he didn't.
Taylor did it right when he's like, "You right, you right." He's like, "That's why you the queen." Like
Right. Right.
that's it. Like when Taylor uses his words, he uses his words effectively. I will give
Yeah,
him that.
he does do that now. When he talks, he does make some sense.
Yeah. Alondra says, "Honestly, I needed this. Not to say that I was getting complacent with Taylor, but it's going to show me if what I had with Taylor is stronger than what I could have with you." And America knows I like country men.
Yes, they
Alondra
do.
Alondra says that she's excited to get to know Jalen. And our connection is he likes me and I like him. And I was like, that's it?
Well, that's all they got. It ain't been but 2, 3 days.
Yeah, but I just feel
That's
like
all
it's
they
not
got,
a
Tamika. That's
lot.
all they got.
But she says, so why not explore that? I was like,
Right.
okay, all right, if you have to. A says, women like to see effort. If he's stepping it up and matching your energy, it's gonna be let the best man win. Taylor ITMs is gonna be real hard to see someone sleeping in bed with Alandra. Like that's who I've been with since day one, and it's gonna be hard to see, especially with somebody who just being handed the position. It offends him so much that we
Yes.
get.
Because he feels like she didn't pick him. She did not pick him. Y'all did that. So he's holding on to that hope. I think that's what's getting him, even though he's
Yeah,
offended by it, it's also giving him hope. Like, I'm still in there because she didn't pick him. So
yes,
hopefully she still likes me more. You know what I'm saying? I think he's
yes.
holding on to that too. Like,
I agree. I think that is what he's holding on to because he's so offended that we handed that girl. Like,
yes.
how could y'all do this to me? Oh my god. So he's like, Alandra's like, well, I'm willing to explore a connection. Jalen says, well, just don't be closed off. And Alandra says, that's all we can do. And I agree with KB here. Jalen is boring for me.
Yes, he is.
I just don't. I don't.
He thought Taylor was
I
boring too.
yeah, but I think Taylor is a man of little words. I think Jalen doesn't like her.
I don't think he liked anybody else either. But you think he likes Amaya?
I do.
Okay. I mean, it's a possibility, Chad. I don't
Yeah.
put nothing past nobody.
Yeah. Taylor says she's hella cool person. Hella cool. A says, I may tell you a joke, but I ain't now gonna tell you a lie. Be for real. Lock the fuck in.
Right.
All I said, all I said is thank you, Ace. Please, thank you. Let him know. And Taylor does say he realizes, which also gave me hope. He's like, absolutely, because this is about to be way harder. He knows.
Right.
He knows
Yeah.
that he's at a deficit, and he's in order to get to where he's got to go, he's got to pull up.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that he realizes that, because then nobody will catch him slipping at this point. And it really will be on Alandra's decision making. All right. So nighttime, Taylor to Pepe, this situation is crazy. Never thought it would work out like this. He's very offended. I can see it. He's very, and it's, guys, it's not about him almost getting dumped.
No.
It's literally that he lost his girl.
It's literally that he lost his girl, not even to her own choosing.
Yeah.
He's offended.
Huda is in tears, and I had to agree with her here. She's like, this dude didn't even check on me once.
Right.
Not this whole thing. I feel stupid. I trusted this person with so much. I was so genuine. It's like maybe a little too genuine. Okay. And I almost got voted off. Because he was not genuine. I said, no, now we're twisting things because you don't know that. And she's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I don't know if it's me or him. The American wants to find better. And this is where I got upset, because Amaya and Sierra are both like, obviously it's you. America is protecting you. And KP has a point here. Bird brainery was peeking at the girls, because why they agree with her.
Exactly.
And I'm just like, no, this is no. That's not what we did that for.
But they don't know. They agreeing with her.
Jeremiah is sulking in the speakeasy. And again, I think he's sulking because he's like, damn, like I really thought I had this game on the wraps and lock, and I threw away some of my boundaries to stay with her. It's that Miss Juicy meme. Well, what are we gonna do now? Whoo! So we see Jeremiah tell Austin he realizes. Oh wait, sorry. Skip the part. We skipped the most important part. Huda is in the shower complaining. I don't want a man like that. Fuck away from me. Mm-hmm. You're a liar. My husband would never. You're a fucking bitch. Mm-hmm. Jeremiah hears all of this and said, and as she comes out of the shower, he says, I never lied to you. Jeremiah,
what does she think he lied to her about? That he cares about her? Like, what is she thinking?
I said to you, once they realized that America was not thinking of them as mom and dad of the villa, the Serena and Cordell, if you would, she would blame him. You're too open. You're lying to me. You're doing this. You're doing that. And when, to be honest, it's both of them. It's not him and it's not you. It's both of y'all. We don't like y'all together.
Yeah, but I'm just I'm just wondering what does she think he lied to her about? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, other than she just she can't think. She has no self-reflection, so she can't
Right.
think that beyond it's got to be him. It can't be
Him.
her.
Yeah. Right. That's the exactly.
And it's not true.
Right.
Um so he tells Austin he realizes he should have comforted her after she got eliminated, and then he knows he fucked up, but he froze, and now she's talking crazy. And then we see Sierra comforting Hannah in bed, Jalen and Alandra trying to figure out on which side of the bed to sleep on. Hannah and Pepe cuddle. Did you see how much space was between Alandra and Jalen in the bed?
Yes,
Yo.
Alandra turned over and went to sleep like as she always does, even with Taylor. She's not a cuddler. She turned over and went to sleep.
No.
Yes, but I saw that Hannah was just sobbing on that pillow with them pictures from the photo booth
And then
4
she was
hours
cuddling with
earlier,
Pepe.
and now she cuddling with that man, and that
Yeah.
Charlie ain't even got on the flight yet. You hear
Not
me?
even body, as she said, body ain't even cold yet. Body wasn't even cold yet. Body was not even cold yet. Yeah. So Iris and Jeremiah, there was a lot of space in between them. Alandria and Jalen, a lot of space in between them. But the Pepe and Hannah, no space. So Pepe, Jalen, and Iris all get a text in the middle of the night, and it is a triple date. So they need to get dressed and go to the dock. Jeremiah is upset because he thinks things are done with him and Huda, and at this point, he's not even going to get to talk to her this morning like he thought he could. They're all saying though, Iris, Alandra, and who else was the other girl? Hannah, that they're gonna make the best of it. That's when Hannah said, "The body ain't even cold. I'm going on a date." Huda wakes up. Of course, I feel like somebody woke her up, because how is it that as soon as they left, she?
But I was wondering, how was it that nobody did wake up with all them people getting out of bed? How is it that nobody woke up? So
But that's what happened with when Serena and them went on their date last.
I know, I couldn't believe it then. I don't understand how nobody's waking up.
Yeah, no. So we see she wakes up Taylor, and she's like,
some people don't like to be woken up. Some people do not like to be woken up like that.
No,
like
I know.
When they cut that bright light on, it gives them time to adjust, and they wean themselves out of it, stretch. Sometimes they still put the pillow over their face, and they give themselves time to get up. Some people don't like to be like for you to shake them and wake them up. That startles them, and they wake up angry.
Taylor is a kind man, because he really just like, oh, because she's like, the bombshells took them on dates. And she cries to him, and he just is like, go back to bed. I know he said, so there's nothing we can do, go back to bed. And so the girls do get up at that point and comfort her. It's like, this man did me dirty, and he gets rewarded and gets to go on a date. That's like, what did he do dirty?
The people this is what I was saying. She was like, he went on a date. He went on my dream date. She acts like this man woke up, asked them, can you please plan a date
with somebody else?
They had got a text just like anything else. It's the show. And that's what I was saying. She act like the man was planning it all himself. It's like, get a grip. She just.
Prishay says that you would have had to remove me from the villa if Huda woke me up. Absolutely. Absolutely. Don't play with my sleep and my food.
You don't like to be woken up either?
Because it throws my entire body off.
Oh, see, yep. Some people are like that. I'm not like that, but some people I know.
Saturday morning after my son's junior prom, he woke me up, and we didn't get home until like 1. I think I went to sleep about 2, and I remember we had stayed up and did a show, and so I was asleep, and his dad came and got him, and he before he left with his dad, he woke me up about 10 o'clock, talking about, Mom, and I'm like, huh. He's like, I need the pictures from the prom last night. I was like, you want
He want to show his pictures. He was looking handsome. He looked very handsome. He want his pictures. Okay, ma'am. You should have sent them before you went to sleep. You know, I want my
obviously that's the point. I didn't send them before I went to sleep. Cause sorry, I was tired. Yeah. So yeah, no, don't put like my children do it, and I have no choice because children.
Right.
But don't play with me like that. Or you have to do it nice and slow because I don't like being
Ooh.
startled. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Huda, it says this man did me dirty and he gets rewarded. I'm just like, I don't understand how that's not how that works. Taylor says to Nick what happened, and Nick is like, well, what did she think? What did she want you to do? Y'all can't do nothing about it. They gone now. I love their relationship. I'm sorry.
Nick what is going on? Like, what you
So
supposed to do?
Ace wakes up and he said, nah, I'm planning a ping pong and pancake date. Now, I thought he went for the whole villa.
That's what I thought. But then he said Shelly.
He was like, no, this is a date for Shelly. I was like, damn.
But why the other two? Now I see why Austin say they just follow. Because why he always got to get them to do something his date? Like,
what else were they going to do? Because at this point, Sierra ain't looking for dates, and what you call it? Taylor lost his girl, so I don't know. But maybe they did do something with Sierra or whatever, just not the ping pong part.
Yeah, but he did something for Taylor's date, and you know Nick.
Yeah.
So I guess they try to help each other out. Like, so
yeah. They might be cutting out Sierra dates. Because like
Nick needs to step it up. He needs to do
nobody cares about Nick. That's what I've been told. And so he says they need some happiness.
Yeah.
And fair. Like I do love that he thought of that. The dates that the trios went on was beach dates, and so they're kayaking, snorkeling, walking along the beach. Ace grabs Shelly for her surprise, and it is ping pong and pancakes hosted by Taylor and waitstaff by Nick. And the entire time, Austin is just mean mugging,
eating his breakfast, at the breakfast cook, thing, and he's like, hating. He hating so bad. Like, he hating so bad. He want to be out of that triangle so bad, but he don't have nobody else.
He hasn't done anything. Nothing. Like, she said,
if the girls choose, he going home. Is he not going home? Let him go home.
No, it's even. It's even.
It's not even.
How is it not even?
No, it's not even. No, because remember, left at the villa was Ace, Taylor, Nick, Shelly, Sierra, Amaya, and Austin. That's 7.
No, it's not even. That's 6.
No, 3 girls, 4 boys. Shelly, Sierra. You forget about. Listen, stop forgetting about Sierra. Sierra, Shelly, Amaya.
Do it by couples, and then that's the way. What are the couples?
But it's not couples because they got separated. It's Taylor is by himself.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's Nick and Sierra. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Ace and Amaya, I guess, still.
Mm-hmm.
And then there is Shelly and Austin, and then Taylor's by himself. So it's 7.
Right, so Taylor and Huda.
Oh yeah, Huda was still there. I forgot because she wasn't. Where was she at?
She was they until they like almost came back. We really didn't see her.
Okay, so it is even.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I want somebody else to go home.
But that's what I'm trying to say. It's even. They're going to recouple, and then it's going to be us voting again for a dumping.
Okay.
Like I said, I think I said it yesterday.
It's too many people.
Yeah.
It's 7 couples?
It's 7 couples.
People?
Yeah,
Good
so
night.
they're more than likely gonna dump two couples. They have
You think
to.
they're
If
gonna
not,
you think they're gonna dump two couples?
they
Wow.
going into Casa. Casa is usually only 5 couples.
Okay. Well, I'm saying not at this. You saying they're gonna dump two before we get to Casa, but not at the same time. Just okay.
Yeah.
One this
Mhm.
week and maybe one next week.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm, okay.
Yeah.
Well, who do we
Um,
want Austin to? Well, we need to get Shelly away from Austin so we can get him out. So who?
well, it depends. I don't know if it's girls pick or not. Hopefully, it's girls pick.
Okay.
I think if it's girls pick, she might pick Ace at this
I hope
point.
so. Yeah, I hope it needs to be girls picked because the girls never picked. The guys picked and then America picked. So it should be girls picked.
Boss Queen says it's still a week before Casa. Right. So what I'm saying, Tuesday, recoupling. Tuesday, we vote. They either show the vote on Thursday or Friday. We're now closer to next week. Next week, it's either, again, they're still together, and then Casa is either next week or towards the beginning of next week or towards the end of next week. Because now we are in how many weeks we have left after that?
When is this supposed to end? July 12th? That's when
Uh,
the villa thing, right?
I think it's if Beyond the Villa starts the 13th, they either are ending that Sunday. Then I have a feeling that they're ending that same time, which would
Mm-hmm.
be 1, 2. Yeah, this would be 3 weeks before the end. So Casa should be next week. Casa should be next week. Yeah, so we see Sierra and Amaya spectate. Shelly loved the Ace is really doing his thing. Austin's just walking around salty as fuck. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Hi, Dino. Dino says Casa might actually be Sunday coming up or Monday. That's what I'm thinking. Because it's usually at least 3 weeks before the end. And then there'll be 2 weeks left to the end once they come out of Casa. Because Casa's like one week. Hannah and Pepe chat about their love languages on the beach. Alandra and Jalen do massages. She feels like she could be a lover girl with the right person. I did not see anything in their conversations. You tell me, are you seeing anything? Because I'm not seeing anything. And I'm openly admitting maybe it's just like I have tunnel vision. I'm just not seeing anything with Alandra and Jalen at all.
I think she is just open. I don't know that it's. She's just a slow burner, so you're not going to see immediate sparks with anybody. I don't think with her.
That's what I thought.
But
Taylor.
but she's not sad to be in the couple though. She's very open to exploring.
Mm-hmm. Taylor, Nick, and Ace chat about how to win back Alandra. And Ace feels Taylor has no sense of urgency to step it up. I mean,
Thank
hello?
you. This is what I've been saying. He don't be shalanting. Make him tell him you better shalant.
And make Alandra happy. He's like, breakfast is bare minimum now. How the hell am I going to get her back and let her know she can fuck with anybody in here, but they're never going to give her the type of effort that I'm going to give her? And Taylor's like, well, what else can I do in here? And Ace says, you better get creative. Listen to the things that these women say and that they like. And Taylor ITMs that knowing that they're going on a date really makes me reevaluate things. He gets handed things to him and he hasn't even worked for it. Handed her.
He is so bad.
So bad. He hasn't done anything for her. And I agree with him. He hasn't done anything for her, which is why I was annoyed. Because I'm like, Jason hasn't done nothing. Even the bare minimum of making her breakfast. And he's like, now it's time for me to show that
Can the
I'm
people get
stepping
some paper? Can he write her a poem? Can he get some paper and a pencil? I
up.
mean, something.
Yeah, but he says to the boys, I have to do something today. She went on that date. I have to show her that it's still us and what
Right.
it looks like. Nick says, you have to flip the script. Taylor says, yeah. I'm sorry. A lot of people seem to not like this energy. I love this energy. I love
Well,
it.
yeah, I've been wanting this energy. I do love this energy because I've been wanting this. Uh-huh.
Maya and Huda chat, and as somebody says here, King Cash, Huda and Maya both like that toxic love. I feel like that. I feel like that. I'm sorry because I'm just like they're both just shaking their head like yeah and this, and I'm like that's not what's
Mm-hmm.
going on. Guys.
Fueling each other
Um,
on.
yeah. Maya mentions that the guy said that he made the situation about him. And I'm like, well, no, the guys kind of made the situation about him. But also,
Absolutely.
they were also right.
Yes.
But it says, I see that it could take a miracle for him to get me back. I said, I don't know if I believe you.
But you want the miracle to happen. You're saying that, but you want the miracle to. At this point, she's still wanting him to fight for her and get her back. She wants it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Iris and Jeremiah chat, and she wants to get to know him more. And again, Iris is like her counterpart Ace, where they just have chemistry with everybody. Because I did see the chemistry with her and Jeremiah in this.
Mm-hmm.
And he says he has to think about it, but he thinks that he is open to exploring the connection,
Right.
which I also kind of don't. I also not mad at it, but also mad at it. I don't know how to explain it. You let me know your thoughts. Like,
I wasn't mad at it because I thought he was just thinking to himself, maybe this is a cue. America doesn't think we should go together. We should belong together. And the guys are saying I didn't explore, and maybe they're right. Maybe I should just try to explore it, and then I could just be like, oh, see, it doesn't match, and go back to Huda. I'm thinking that's what he was thinking. Like maybe I should just try to act like I'm open and explore this, and then be like, see, it's not like what me and Huda has, and go right back to Huda. You know what
yeah.
I mean?
Shelly and Austin chat, and he doesn't want to be in the triangle anymore. And she says, well, we're still going at your pace. And I'm like, his pace is to do nothing and just sit there
You know.
and look salty and be upset because somebody else is doing for you what he refuses to do.
And she's not gonna keep reassuring him. It's not
Right.
happening.
Nick talks to Huda and tells her how he feels and why he did what he did. Ace and Shelly chat, and she's like, are you happy? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, basically kind of like, oh, can I trust that you're telling the truth? And he's like, oh, I wouldn't trust me. And I
Right.
was just like, oh Lord Jesus. But Ace says, come here. And he sneaks a kiss on the cheek.
Mm-hmm.
And they just have such good chemistry. I don't know what to
They do.
say.
They do.
They just have a good chemistry together. The dates are back, and Huda is pissed. And we saw Taylor pick up Alandria.
Did you notice that she wanted to look a certain way when he came back? She took off the shirt. She took off them socks. She
Yeah,
put
she
on them
sat
flip
down
flops.
and then the
She
bikini
wanted to
on.
look. She
Yeah.
wanted him to see her look a certain way when he came back.
Mm-hmm.
Like she putting on. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be looking good and unbothered when he comes back and sees me sitting on his chair. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Mind you, Alandria was wearing more clothes and she looked amazing. So did Iris, because she had on that cover up over her bathing suit. Like
mm-hmm.
they both look great,
Yeah,
to
they
be honest.
did.
So yeah, Taylor picks up Alandria and she asks, did you miss me?
He's like,
And
yes, he
Taylor
kissed
says,
her. I thought that was cute. Now I was like, okay, he already stepping it up because he don't usually do stuff like that. So I'm like,
mm-hmm.
he's picking her up, spinning her around, like, yes, I did. Like,
Yeah, because I noticed they got up the boat and she wasn't really like with Jalen. Like she just walked ahead of him and then she kind of beelined for Taylor. So it kind
she
of
did.
tells me she missed him.
She did.
And KB agrees when she came back from the day too. That was cute. It was cute. That it was cute. My favorite part. My babies. I like their energy. Uh, so we see Jeremiah talks to the boys and tells them he had fun, and Alandra feels like they also had a good time, and you could just see Huda just mad and jealous. They had to pull her to go up there, and to be honest, I wish they had not done that. Just let her brood because she's just like nasty about it that they got to go on these dates. Meanwhile, she went on a date. She went on a date.
And
Nobody
a
else got to
solo
go.
date at that, and nobody rained on her parade. But
Right.
yet she can't be happy for other people. And that's my problem with her. It's always got to be about her and
Mm,
Jeremiah. And she
yeah.
cannot be happy for other people.
So we do see that Alandria feels like because she gets asked, "Oh, did you have fanny flutters?" And she's like, "Is that what like butterflies?" And they're like, "Yeah, yeah, like butterflies." And she's like, "Well, there's some moths in there, maybe." And I was like, "She don't like that bad. I'm sorry, not necessarily butterflies."
Mm.
Um, Huda sneaks and listens to the boys chat. What did you think about that? My whole thing is, if you're going to sneak and listen to somebody have a conversation, be prepared for what you hear. Because the point
Absolutely.
of the boys going over there and having a conversation is so that they can chat honestly to each other. And the point of the girls having a conversation is so they can chat honestly to each other. And the point of the bombshells going upstairs to the sun deck and sitting down and talking to each other separately was so everybody can have honest conversations with each other, get advice,
Absolutely.
get good feedback. And I think it's absolutely fucked up of you to go over there and listen to his private conversation. I don't care what he said because the whole point is he was being open and honest about what he was feeling at the time because you know what? He was entitled to his feelings.
Absolutely. And that's what I'm talking about. Her being overbearing, her
Yeah.
trying to be controlling.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? It's what he did to me. He lied to me. But you had complete control in this situation. You were the one that was controlling it. Let you tell it. You know, he wanted to lead. And I was like, this is why you can't lead. So you're admitting that you were in control of the whole situation. So don't keep acting like he did something to you, like he led you astray and he
Mhm.
just manipulated you the whole time and was
Manipulated people.
controlling you. No, you were controlling the situation. And it's just like it's just not fair. People ought to be able to have their autonomy and be able to have just certain conversations. All you had to do was say, Jeremiah, can I pull you for a chat? And you can talk to him one on one and be like, I would prefer that you talk to me first before you talk to the boys. But the way she acted was just, oh, it was just so disgusting.
It was disgusting. Nick says that he doesn't respect Jeremiah for not comforting her the night before. And I respect that. And Jeremiah says, well, for the last few weeks, they've been pushing him to explore. And he finally does that. And he's still getting shit. And I also respect that. Because he does.
Me too. I felt him on that. I felt him on that. And I didn't like the note that we didn't get to see what their response was because somebody should have acknowledged that he was
You're right.
right. Like,
Yeah,
you're
you're
right.
right.
You're right. You're right.
You're right. Um, and so we do see that Huda then runs over and gets upset with the girls and says, I'm gonna go pull ours. I can't I have to, blah 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 blah. And I feel like it's a form of intimidation.
It is. But I thought you was done with him, right? And you
Mhm.
just stuck your middle finger up, said F him, you done with him. You go over there to the girls tell you. So why do you care to hear from Iris how the date was? It should
Yeah.
not matter. You done,
And that the
right?
fact that she isolated her too and told the boys that they couldn't stay upstairs, that they had to go downstairs so she could talk to her, tries to
Right.
bring her
She
to
thinks she
soul
run
ties.
everything. And
And
people
the
are
boys,
intimidated by her. Like Nick told her, I'm intimidated. And I don't like that people are intimidated by her. They need to stand up. I don't like that they letting her punk them. Like, I don't
and
like that.
the girls were like, no, we're gonna go upstairs. So they go upstairs and she basically misconstrues the situation to everybody because she said to Iris, I mean, I didn't hear everything that he said, but I heard this, 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 and this. And he says downstairs with Jeremiah. He's like, "This is what I've been trying to save you from, bro. Like, you set the bar so up here, so high. Now she's flipping out." And he's again not wrong.
Right.
Not wrong. So the girls try to comfort Huda and to tell her that Jeremiah doesn't deserve her. What else are they supposed to do? Because to be honest, I don't think any of them actually know what actually was being said and what was true.
They don't know nothing.
They don't know nothing. So they're just going to support her as much as they can. Nighttime happens and Taylor is upset at the massages. He ain't gonna be right until he gets his girl back. Huda says that Iris moves weird, and the girls are like, "You think?" Huda says, "Yeah, she hides everything." And girls, she mocks. "No, you're not." And she does this every time. Every time that she with Jeremiah, she goes after one of the girls.
Every time, and it's like you already said that you done with him, so now why are you saying something about her?
And also, she does this thing trying to make it seem like she is the only one that's a girl's girl, right? When she's the least girl's girl in there.
The least one, the least.
Jeremiah tells the boys, Nick and Ace, that losing Huda is one thing, but losing them was what hurt the most. And they agreed to move on to support him, mostly Nick. Ace was just kind of watching. Hannah says that she's viewing Pepe differently. Austin apologizes to Taylor for the betrayal. Of course, Taylor accepts because he's a kind dude. So he's just like, "No, it's okay. You were, it was a hard decision for you." I didn't think he took offense to it. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think he's caring about the dumping. Mm-hmm. To be honest, he's here. So he lives to fight another day. Hannah says, "I can't keep my lip gloss on because I keep kissing it off," and I'm like,
like she said, Hannah is for the streets.
Hannah's for the streets. Taylor says, "I sprayed cologne on her bed." What did you think about Taylor spraying his cologne on her bed?
I thought Jeremiah said that. Taylor said that? Oh, okay. He sprayed his cologne on her bed. Okay. I hope she could tell Taylor. Okay.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Nick says that's a cute gesture. Sierra says that he hasn't made out. She hasn't made out with Nick lately, which I find interesting. Mary says, "What's up?" Hi, Mary. Mary says, "I think what does mean by girls is that she would not go for a boy who is closed off. What boy is closed off?"
That's not what she means. No. She's trying to say she's a girl's girl, like she champions the girl. She's all for girl power, and she's trying to support the girls. That's what she says, but her actions don't support that. And guess what, Mary? Nobody's closed off. That's what she forgets in this whole scenario. She has asked this man to close off, and he said no. No one closed off. Yeah, so nobody is betraying you by trying to talk to him when they come in the villa.
No. And she says Iris knew she didn't want Jeremiah. She still went for him in the challenge to provoke Huda, prompted by production. Iris came in and literally said she wanted to get to know Jeremiah.
Yeah, she said she wanted to get to know Nick and Jeremiah. That is what she said. Huda does not own Jeremiah. Like, why is it that no one can come in and get to know him? That's the problem. That's what Ace is talking about. That's the problem. And she put a hickey on him on purpose. That's what Nick was saying. She wants to mark her territory because you won't close it off. So she wants to portray to the people it is closed off, even though we're not closed off. Because that's what she told Iris. That's what she tell everybody. And all of that stuff. We have the strongest connection in here. All of this stuff. But look at, they're the first ones to crumble. Look at this. First ones to crumble. Now she F you and you a B. and you a P and all of this stuff. Like, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Absolutely. So yeah. So we do see that Jeremiah posts Huda for a chat to the speakeasy. Tries to apologize. On the way, she won't allow it. She won't allow him to speak.
Her outfit was cute though. I
She
like
does
her
love it.
stockings with that.
Yeah, dude. He does apologize to her once they get there, and Huda points out that he is selfish. I agreed with her on that. But no one gave a fuck. I was seconds from being voted off. Fair. If you can't handle this, then it's over. Also fair. But then she just ramps up because he's trying to explain to her how he was feeling, and she will not allow him a word edgewise. And I just feel like this is again the type of communication that we were seeing a few days ago that made us be like, no, he needs to go on a date with somebody else.
Right. And that's why he was like, time the F out. Time the F no. And she like, no, he like, no, because I know you. You're gonna try to go on for 30 minutes and not let me say what I need to say. Like, no, I should be able to respond to you. That's not what happened. That's not how it is. And you know what I mean? And she was just being unreasonable.
Unreasonable. So while she is fair in her feelings, she's just being unreasonable. So that is where we end the episode. Tomorrow there will be a recoupling. And hopefully it's girls' choice. And hopefully we see a good landing of couples, because I do fear for some of the couples that end up together in this vote. So what is our predictions for this recoupling?
Well, it depends. Okay, so I guess if the girls get to choose, it depends on what order.
Yes.
Right? Because
Iris, I think, would still either want to get to know Nick or get to know
Ace.
Ace.
I think she would try to choose Ace. So if she goes before Shelly, she's gonna try to get Ace. But if Shelly go first, she's gonna choose Ace. She's gonna get out of that with Austin. I think she's gonna get out of it with Austin just to try to see if she can give them a fair shot. I think she's just gonna do it, even though she would prefer he choose her. I think at this point she's just gonna do it. Like, it's our choice, so I'm gonna just choose it. So I think she would choose Ace. Sierra's gonna choose Nick again. Alandra, who is she gonna choose? If she we gotta see. Taylor need to come up with a date before.
I was gonna say, I think we have to see how she reacts to the date in the cologne, and then we can make a determination of who she's gonna choose.
Yeah, but we won't know because all of that will be on the same episode.
Yes, and I'll be in the same episode. But I think I don't know. I just feel like what Mary's saying here. I do feel like she's picking Taylor right now. I think right now, based on what we're seeing, I do think that she would pick Taylor. I'm just not seeing any energy from Jalen that would I mean, just the fact that she said, no, I didn't have fanny flutters, I didn't have butterflies, maybe some moths in there. I'm just like, I just don't think she's.
I'm hoping she will.
Like, yeah.
And I think if she picks Taylor, Amaya will pick Jalen.
I think Amaya will pick Jalen, absolutely. I think Hannah stays with Pepe. Yeah.
And I think is Huda gonna pick Jeremiah, or who's she gonna pick?
I don't know.
Because nobody's gonna pick Austin.
Yeah, I don't know. Austin either gonna get picked by Huda, Iris. Who's left?
That's it.
I just don't see Shelly picking him again. I think she wants out of that energy. So unless she has no choice. But even if she has no choice, I think she'd be better off going into a friendship couple with somebody than with Austin. Who's left?
She would have to pick Austin again. Who's she gonna go in a friendship couple with?
If Iris,
she's not gonna pick Jeremiah. She's not gonna upset Huda, or whatever. So she's not gonna pick Jeremiah.
Yeah, Huda and Jeremiah, I think, will end up back together. I'm sure the conversation that they're having now, they'll turn fine and they'll gloss over all their problems, and then they'll get back together. And Iris would be out of the picture. It really depends on who gets to choose first.
Right.
I don't, unless she chooses Jalen because she couldn't get Ace,
Who?
Shelly.
Oh, I don't know. Because Amaya,
I don't,
but I don't know.
unless Alandra picks Jalen, which I don't think is going to happen. I'm praying that doesn't happen. But if it does, maybe Shelly ends up with Taylor in a friendship couple.
Yeah, maybe so. But
Um,
I'm hoping that they will let Shelly go
choose
first,
first.
Sierra go first, then Shelly, then Amaya.
Hmm.
I'm hoping they'll let the people who were not split up go
Hmm.
first, and then the people who are in a newer couple go last. Because you know what I mean? It's almost like you just got into another couple, even though you are recoupling too. Like the other people should get a go first. Like so I'm hoping that Shelly will be like first or second to pick, so she'll just decide to pick Ace. I think she should just do it. Just go ahead and pick them.
I think so too. All
Because
right.
who got time to keep? Because you gonna have to keep listening to Austin complain. Because he gonna keep. If you pick him again, Ace is not gonna stop pulling you and planning dates, and you still gonna have to listen to Austin complain. So just pick Ace.
Just try it and see what happens so
Yeah,
that we can, yeah. Boss Queen says, I think Iris will go before Shelly and the producers want Austin to Casa. Yeah.
he'll still be there.
No, because he probably will, depending on who he wants, he'll probably get dumped.
Well, you need to get done.
Yeah, I agree. I want him dumped, but I think they're trying to get him to Casa. So they might not allow Shelly to choose Austin, but yeah,
Hey,
yeah, I don't know. We
I
shall
don't know.
see.
We shall see.
All right, guys. So that's it for tonight. Missy Joy, let them know where they can find you.
Miss T Joy on all platforms except for TikTok. It's Miss T Joy 2, the number 2.
Okay. And as always, you guys can follow me on Entertainment in Color everywhere except for Twitter, which is Entertain in Comia. So yes, I will probably either be back Wednesday or doing a double on Thursday. My son graduates tomorrow. Yay. And I'm excited. So hopefully we get another vote. I don't know if they would let us vote this soon. Maybe they'll let us vote Thursday into Friday. Oh, I don't know. But
Yeah.
we just voted. Do you think they'll let us vote again?
Yeah, because we got to dump somebody else. Yeah, we got to get
Yeah,
people out of here.
yeah, yeah. So if there is a voting, I will vote. But I probably will see if I can watch the episode after the graduation, but we'll see. Otherwise, I will be either here Wednesday or Thursday. So again, subscribe, hit the notification button. You see that I'm going live whenever I can to get through these episodes. So never know. These episodes be like an hour and 30, and I'm trying to make sure we get as much information as possible because we want all the information going into Casa. I think this Casa is either going to be a dud or going to be wild, to be honest.
We shall see.
So we shall see. So thank you guys for joining us, and we will see you, Night Mary, next
Good
time
night.